Every single day, someone is being judged before they have had the chance to show who they are. Before they speak, before they act, before they build anything worth seeing. People look at where you come from, how you present yourself, what you have right now, and they make a decision. A quiet, confident, permanent decision. They decide what you are capable of. They decide your ceiling. They decide your value. And most of the time, they decide all of that in the first few seconds of knowing you. That is not a complaint. That is just the truth about how the world works. Stay with this video, because today you will understand why being underestimated might be your greatest advantage. Most people cannot handle being underestimated, and I mean that seriously. There is something in the human mind that finds it deeply uncomfortable to be seen as less than what you are. It feels like an injustice. It feels like a wound. And the natural, almost automatic response is to fix it immediately. To correct the record. To prove yourself right now, in this moment, before another second passes with this person thinking you are less than what you know yourself to be. So people start explaining. They start listing their achievements. They start defending their ideas before anyone has even challenged them directly. They get loud. They get emotional. They make sure that whoever doubted them knows, without question, that they were wrong. And in doing all of that, they lose everything. Here is what most people never learn. The moment you react emotionally to being underestimated, you hand power to the person who underestimated you. You confirm something, not the thing they thought necessarily, but something worse. You confirm that their opinion of you has weight. You confirm that what they think matters enough to disrupt you. You confirm that you need them to see you differently before you can feel settled inside yourself. And that is a vulnerability that people with real power never expose. Think about that carefully. When you argue to prove your worth, you are not demonstrating value. You are demonstrating need. And need is the opposite of power. There is a different kind of person. You have probably met one, even if you did not recognize them at the time. They are the ones who do not flinch when they are dismissed. They do not rush to correct anyone. They do not raise their voice. They do not explain their credentials in the middle of a casual conversation. They listen. They observe. They say very little. And while you are busy talking, they are busy thinking. While you are performing, they are learning. While you are trying to convince the room, they are studying the room. Quiet people often see more than anyone else. Not because they are smarter, necessarily, but because they are not burning energy on performance. They are not managing impressions. They are just watching. And watching, real watching, is one of the most underrated skills a person can develop. There is a specific kind of freedom that comes with being underestimated. It is uncomfortable at first. There is a period where it stings, where you have to sit with the fact that someone in front of you has drawn the wrong conclusion about who you are. That takes discipline to tolerate. It takes a kind of quiet confidence that most people have not yet built. But once you can sit with it without reacting, once you can feel that discomfort and choose not to move, something changes. You begin to understand that the underestimation is not an obstacle. It is an opening. When people underestimate you, they give you something you cannot buy. They give you time. They give you space. They remove pressure. They stop watching as closely. They stop measuring as carefully. They lower their expectations, which means they lower their guard. And that invisibility, that being written off, that being set aside, becomes the most productive environment you will ever work in. Because now you can build without an audience. Think about what that means in practical terms. You wake up in the morning and no one is waiting to see what you do. No one is tracking your progress. No one is comparing your timeline to theirs or to some standard they invented. You train and nobody documents it. You study and nobody applauds it. You develop your skills in complete silence and nobody is there to give you credit for the work you are putting in, which means nobody is there to distract you from it either. Discipline in private is one of the most powerful forces a human being can develop. And it is only available to people who are willing to go unseen. There are two kinds of people worth understanding here. The first kind needs to be recognized at every stage of his development. He posts the workout. He announces the goal. He updates everyone on the plan. He needs external confirmation that he is on the right path, because inside, he is not quite sure. The validation from other people fills a gap that his own belief has not yet filled. And so he keeps seeking it. He keeps performing. He keeps trying to show people that he is worth watching, and the cost of all that performance is focus, energy, time. The very resources he needs to actually become what he is claiming to be. The second kind works differently. He has learned, somewhere along the way, that belief is an internal project. That confidence is not something you get from people agreeing with you. That identity is not built in front of an audience. It is built in the hours that no one sees. It is built in the consistency no one tracks. It is built in the decision to keep going when there is no reward for going, when there is no applause, no recognition, no external signal that any of this is worth it. That man does not need the room to believe in him. He already does. And because he already does, he is free to work without interruption. Silence builds pressure. Not silence as in passivity. Not silence as in giving up or accepting less. Silence as in the controlled accumulation of something. Like water behind a dam. You cannot see what is building. You cannot measure it from the outside. But the pressure is real. The volume is real. And when the time comes, the release is undeniable. Patience, real patience, is not waiting. People confuse the two. Waiting is passive. It is enduring time without purpose. Patience is something else entirely. Patience is continuing to work while the outcome has not yet arrived. Patience is trusting the process when the process offers you nothing visible in return. Patience is one of the most aggressive things a disciplined person can practice, because it requires you to override the impulse for immediate resolution over and over, every single day, without weakening. Most people cannot do it. The urge to see results quickly is biological. It is designed to keep us alive and moving forward. But in the context of building something serious, that urge works against you. Because serious things take longer than people want them to. Real transformation is slow. Real skill takes time. Real strength in the body and in the mind is built through repetition across months and years, not through intensity across days. And here is the part that should make you slightly uncomfortable. If you have been building quietly, if you have been doing the work without getting credit for it, if you have been dismissed or overlooked or simply not taken seriously, then you are currently in the most important phase of your development. Not the most exciting phase, not the most visible phase, the most important one. Because this is where character is formed. This is where belief becomes independent of environment. This is where you learn whether your commitment to this belongs to you or whether it belongs to the approval of other people. That is a hard question to sit with, but it is worth sitting with. Physical discipline matters here too. The way you train your body teaches your mind something. When you wake up early and do the work, when you push through resistance in a training session, when you choose the harder path over the easier one, consistently, without an audience, you are rehearsing a pattern. You are teaching yourself that discomfort does not stop you. You are building a reference. So that when life creates difficulty, when circumstances press in, when nothing is going easily, you have a body of evidence inside yourself that says, this is something I do. I move through hard things. I have done it before. I will do it again. That is not motivation. Motivation is temporary. That is identity. And identity does not fluctuate with your mood. The people who underestimated you did you a favor. They gave you the environment you needed to build without the weight of expectation. They cleared the stage. They took the spotlight away. And in the dark, quietly, without anyone watching, you began to become something that the version of you they dismissed could never have been. Because pressure creates compression. And compression in the right person creates density. A kind of solidity that you can feel in the way someone carries themselves, in the stillness of their presence, in the fact that they do not need the room to validate what they already know. One day, and this is not a threat, it is not even a promise, it is simply a pattern that repeats in the lives of people who refuse to stay where they were placed. One day, results arrive, not announced, not performed, just present. And the results do not argue. They do not explain. They do not defend themselves against the original assessment. They simply exist, visibly, undeniably, in a way that no conversation could have produced. That is when the people who underestimated you will try to rewrite the story. They will say they always believed in you, or they will say they were testing you, or they will move quietly to another conversation, because there is nothing left to say, and you will not need to correct any of it. Because by then, you will have moved so far past that moment that it will no longer carry any weight. You will not feel vindicated. That is what people who have not been through this expect, that it will feel like victory over someone. But it does not feel like that. It feels like arrival, like finally standing in a place you built with your own hands over a long time. It feels quiet. It feels solid. It feels like something that belongs to you completely. So keep building, keep training, keep studying, keep making the small decisions that compound over time into something that cannot be argued with. Let them think what they think. Let them draw their conclusions early. Let them close the chapter before the story is finished. Because the story is not finished. You are still in the part where the work happens. And the work is exactly where you need to be. If you are building in silence right now, comment, "They underestimated me."